I was going to uh, stop for now, but this is kind of important. I don't really know what's going on because I don't remember. So Shion goes in the Castle of Oblivion. She sees a big white ball. She says, "No." Then I'm not the person I was before. It wasn't me. Uh, uh. Wow, didn't level up. Oh, but I got this. This is good. I do need those. And I got that. Okay, that's good. Day 256. News. I didn't really have a topic because I think I talked about everything so far already. I guess I can just talk about how I feel about cartoon reviews in general. If it's a show I already like, I have no reason. I've already analyzed it in my mind, so I already know how I feel about it. Like, I don't know, something like Gravity Falls. But okay, the shows I tend to like don't really require much analysis to begin with, so it's weird that I'm seeing that a lot lately. Like, I've seen analysis videos and stuff for Steven Universe. I haven't seen. I know it's out there, but there's stuff for Star versus the Forces of Evil. I already know I like that show. The only problem I had with it was written out, and I saw a teaser on a Disney website or YouTube floating around my recommended. I think they somehow wrote it back in, which is dumb, but whatever. It's the Star and Marco's relationship thing. Like, when it was happening, it was like, okay, of course the two main characters fall for each other. But then there was a recent episode about it being actually they kind of retcon it, I guess. It was actually because of a curse that they went through in like a episode in season 1. I thought that was really clever. So that the whole episode was about them trying to undo that, how that happened, so they don't have feelings for each other anymore. So they do that, but I guess that's just happening anyway. So it's like, whatever. Allows you to AR more quickly if you press B fast enough. Okay. Actually, I prefer this. Air Rush. I don't care about that. I care about the Keyblades. Can I get a new one? I just want a new one. Oh, whoa, Hazard Gear. Oh, whoa, Rage Gear. Oh, whoa, Champion Gear. I want to get a new one. All I need is 2 more gear component C's. I mean, I can actually get. I want something new. I want to see what that is. Now I can't get anything else. Cool. Ooh, I can get some of these. Wow. I only have one combo tech. Storm's Eye. I don't need that really. Whoa. Defense was 24, resist to all elements. Or double up. I like this. And I can still get this. So that's okay. HP plus 40, 2016 Vitality Barrier. I don't know what that means. But I want it. So I'm gonna get it. Sure. Water resistance. What water enemy is in this game other than those turquoise marches? Nothing. And I can't get anything from here anymore, so whatever. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of review episodes of, or reviews of like shows I already like. I mean, there's fucking full-on analysis videos already. But I don't really care all that much. But for shows I don't like, that I'm never interested in watching to begin with, I want to know how they're doing, at least. So recently I started watching this guy who's covering every episode of the new Powerpuff Girls reboot. And review aside, I'm pretty sure if I've seen those episodes on their own, I wouldn't have liked any of the decisions they're making. I don't like their villains. I don't like that every episode has a really forced moral. I thought people were just exaggerating, but like, Jesus Christ, they turned an episode about how do I describe this? They turned an episode about like them going on vacation, about not being selfish. It's like, how did you put that in here? And there's lines where they just straight up say the moral of an episode, or the moral, and it's like, this is so shoehorned in. Why can't you just write an episode where something happens, like, but without putting a fucking message in it? I mean, messages are okay, but not for Powerpuff Girls. It's an action-oriented show, and it's funny sometimes too. That's what the whole point of the original was. No, it wasn't trying to teach you everything every goddamn second. And I'm not. I don't think that shows that do teach are bad, but not for this. Like, just not for that. This is bad. This is a bad idea. Like they turned an episode about the professor having a love interest into like being about not judging a book by its cover, but they were right in judging his new love interest because he was a fucking monster. So it's just, their messages are there and they're all over the damn place. Like, it's one thing to have messages, it's another thing to be wrong in how you present them. It's just, and they subvert the personalities of everyone too. Like, they're trying to be progressive by making them all be smart, but now as a group they have no identity because they're all smart. It's like, Bubbles wasn't smart, but she had like compassion. And Blossom was smart, but she didn't know how to, well, she was the leader, so even though she like laughed at things that were silly, she still was like, she still was the, what's it called? She was the diplomacy of the group. And like, they each had their own unique thing about them, and now there's nothing about them. There's nothing unique because they all do the same shit. Like, there's episodes about Buttercup being the math genius, even though that's Blossom's thing. Like, she's the bookworm, she's this, she's, you know, she's been established, but you make them all, you give them all this trait, it's the same trait, and they lose individuality. Like, it just makes me upset that that's how they're taking. They say that the old show isn't what they want to represent, and then they ruin it with this bullcrap. It's like, you're not empowering anybody by changing all this, you're just making everything worse. It's just really sad. You know? Like, God. And the whole Jared Shapiro thing, I was trying to figure out what I didn't like about that name in general, and it turns out he says that he shares the same last name with Ben Shapiro, the freaking like Scientology guy. Not even Scientology, just like anti-abortion, not pro-choice like person. Probably sexist because of that. Like, I don't even need to look up what he does. I think he's a science funder. I looked him up once. I don't fucking remember. I had to look up the name Jared Shapiro, and then Ben Shapiro came up. I was like, who the fuck is this character? Why is he appearing in Powerpuff Girls? It's like, oh, it's somebody's... Okay, here's the thing. It's not a self-insert. It's... They were designing a character, and they designed him after someone in their office as like a joke or something. But everyone thinks it's a self-insert. I think that got taken way too far, way too quick. And that's what everyone thinks now. Like, everyone thinks it's a cringy self-insert, like, but defeat the Emerald Serenade. This does not bode well. I forgot to equip. I don't have enough panels anyway, so it doesn't matter. Where am I going? Why is there so many freaking doors and hallways? Wait, there was probably a chest up there. Oh, there he is, but I don't care right now. Yep, there was. Okay, bye guys. I'm gonna take your things and leave. But yeah, that has been interesting. Watching someone's like analysis of all these episodes. Since I don't like the show, I'm kind of watching it through his reviews, but I'm not letting his opinion become mine. But the thing is, he's not even saying his opinion mostly, he's just pointing out that he's just pointing out like how when they write these characters like this, they don't work as well, and it makes everything else just suffer because of that. Like, you know, that's interesting to me. Like, anyone could just come out with videos saying this episode sucks, this whole show sucks, but he's actually saying why and comparing it. A lot of episodes turns out they're parallel plots of older episodes from the original show, but they're just worse versions of them. Like, every time they use him, it's always the episode where he infiltrates our nightmares, and it's like variations of that. But the stakes are not the same. You know, like, him sent them forward to the future. He fucking Aku'd that, and it was a future where him took over, and the townspeople stopped relying. They gave up on the Powerpuff Girls and like they rebelled against them. But then I don't know if he says that or he says this or not, but it's also that has happened like twice in the show. There's the one where they go to the future, and the one where God, what happens? There's the one where they go to the future. Oh, and I guess the other one is the one with the nightmare, where he makes them think that the townspeople don't like them anymore. But yeah, how they just write everyone is bad. Like, the mayor is even more of an idiot, and the professor is not serious anymore. Like, he was the go-to like parent for advice for the girls, most episodes, or even Miss Bellum, but she's been written out, so because she's apparently not a good role model, even though they ask her for advice on what to do in situations. Not a good role model, I guess. They're literally only taking her at face value, and that's the whole point of her character, is that she's much more than just her body. But that's all they saw, and that's all they see. It's super ironic to me. Oh, is he weak to fire? These kind of missions suck. They freaking just suck. Oh god. And I just hate my life right now. I think he's weak to wind, because so are these guys, alright. I mean, it would make sense, at least. And yeah, there's just a focus on them in the school life, but that's not interesting. It's really not. Like, there is a reason why they didn't do that in the actual show. I like how I called it the actual show. They're both actual shows. One is actually good. Damn it, this has like no range. Oh, he's not rigged to wind at all. But now I can't touch him. Well, actually, that kind of is what I wanted. I wanted him to stop moving. And the worst thing is he can't damage you, so you can't even go into limit mode and just destroy him. And I believe he gets faster the less HP he has. Like, I guess I could just stand in one. Okay, that strategy doesn't work either, because if you just stand still, you move, and none of your combos land. I wasted that. He's not weak to that. God. No, I don't want to fight you. Go away. Oh god, this is actually the worst. I have too many items. Like, how come there aren't things that can just make him stop consistently? Like, Arrow has a chance. Okay, I guess he's spinning around like a madman. Like, Arrow has a chance to do that, but why is there no just thing you can do to make him stop? God. Just burned to death already. Okay, thank you. You didn't drop anything. What's in here? Oh, okay, we're here. But I have to kill them now so I can leave. I didn't do as much damage. Okay, Arrow does nothing against them. Or I also like watching like reviews of just obscure shows. Phelan Porteous, he does reviews. He's doing reviews on Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm, which is a tie-in. Actually, it's not a tie-in. It came out before the movie, because I remember because there was like an ad for it on the VHSs. But I like reviews of obscure things I never would have seen, and especially things like those where they're really short, so people can review them and talk about them faster. And I don't know, I like learning about old shows that didn't do very well or did very well. You know, that stuff's interesting to me. I like animation in general. I'm glad that I have other friends to talk about it with, but you know, whenever I reference something or like talk about an old animated movie, I just feel like no one else is interested. Which, to be fair, I guess I can respect people who don't or are not as interested in what I am. But I'm just glad that I have a separate group of friends I can talk about animations with. But I don't know.